See, now
you can take it, Celine.
Okay, cool. Come say hi to everyone.
Cool, so here I am, Bathurst. There's some cool cows around. This one's got a nice triangle on its forehead. Hey guys, so I'm here in Bathurst, and as you can see, I've got some cow friends here behind me. There's a curious calf. So I've been here since Sunday, and I'm staying here on the farm with Selena and Kurt, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I've never been to Bathurst, and the Eastern Cape is something really special. I love the fact that everything is still pretty wild here. I mean, I live in a small town, but yeah, this is different. This is like nature, different type of nature. You can feel the quiet here. You can feel nature here, like in the old days. It feels like you're going back in time a bit. I've been going for walks there in the valley below, and it's an interesting habitat. It almost feels a bit like bushveld, green, like a very lush bushveld. And I'm from the north, so I love the bushveld, and this is something that I'm not really used to. And I've been staying on this farm. It's my 4th day. It's been cool to have some rest, because being on the road like I am, and some musicians are, you sometimes drive like 5 hours, 6 hours a day, and you play, you gig on the same day, sleep over the next night. So it was cool just to chill a bit. And what I also love about this place, it reminds me a lot of my grandmother and grandfather's place in Bathurst when I was a kid, and my cousin Chris, Mokke and Kat from Katbok Radio up in Limpopo. They're close to Magobas Kloof and Sanine. There are trees here with macadamia nut trees. There are lemon trees. Apparently there's a big snake just around the corner from here. Cool, so Selena...
The giggles already.
Selena and Kurt's place, that is an awesome painting by Selena.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's very cool. And there's another one here. And these are the mops that we went on a very big mission yesterday to get.
In there for sure.
And we've already had a little interview with lollies. But there's lols. Ewok lolly. So Selena.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
So in the first place, yes, Bathurst. And the move here, we don't have to repeat what Kurt told us, because he already told us a story, but it was a good move.
It was a very good move, yeah. It's enabled us to crack on with recordings and things, and it brings out sort of like an artistic flair in you, experiencing the nature and also the beautiful people in Bathurst as well. Very eccentric and characterful. And, you know, a lot of them are musicians and artists, which is amazing. Yeah.
And that accent, are you from the north? Are you from Limpopo? What is that accent now?
The one that you were taking off earlier on, or trying to take off, yes. So most of my family are Irish, but I grew up in the southwest of England in a beautiful little village called Clovelly, a fishing village, yeah. Again, a very eccentric people, so I think that's why I'm right at home in Bathurst, you know. Yeah.
You are what we call a musician's friend.
Yes.
And a hard worker. There's not a lot of people, well, that's a bit of a cliche, but in the industry, to get someone who can, Selena's helped me book gigs, and your level of professionality, and that is something that's quite scarce to find. And you do that for other musicians, you do it mostly for you guys, obviously, for you and Kurt. And so the reason why I'm here is because you actually organize all these gigs for me to actually get here, play the Bathurst Arm, see the Eastern Cape, see your little cottage and what you're doing here, and it's been such a magical experience. You believe Kurt's music is something that you really believe in and that you really feel?
No, absolutely. He's an amazing singer, songwriter, and apart from his beautiful vocals and things, you know, there's so much depth to him, and you know, I believe his music should be heard, and it's absolutely a pleasure to sing with him and learn all these beautiful, beautiful songs. Yeah, yeah, no, so,
Cool.
yeah.
And Selena, my favorite part of your vibe. So when I look at you with your dark hair and your
Yes,
blue
yeah.
eyes, you're a real Irish-looking woman, aren't you?
But they say so. They say so.
It's either the red and the green eyes,
Yes,
or
yeah.
the dark hair and the
And
blue eyes.
Yeah.
And something that Selena and I talk about often, which I love about Selena, is when I'm here, it feels like I've been transported to some little Gothic town. Because Selena tells me stories about her childhood and about the ghostly things. And
Yes,
you grew up in a culture of where ghost stories and that type of things were normal.
No, absolutely. And all the legendary places of witches and wizards and, you know, King Arthur's castle in Tintagel, all those beautiful, beautiful places. But unlike you, he loves the ghosts and everything. I'm absolutely scared to death.
But she goes about her day, 'cause she's stronger in the black, and she reads in the hours. Then away she flies when the evening is dying, to seek me in the glow. I'm flying through the soul of the winter, the land of the witch, to find my love. She feels.
How's it, guys? So I'm here at the Bathurst Arms in Bathurst, or Bathurst, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna quickly introduce you to John there in the background. And he's like the local historian here in this town. And he's got a few cool stories about the pubs and the buildings around here, and the historical, ghostly kind of things that's been happening here. John, so speaking about the Pig and Whistle, I asked John yesterday, you know, are there any stories about ghosts in Bathurst? And he said, well, the Pig and Whistle is the oldest building, 1820.
I think they started building it in 1825.
Okay.
And I'm not sure when it was completed. But if you look at the building, there's a section which is stone, 2 stories high. And then a single story section on the corner. So the owners, he was a blacksmith.
The owner was a blacksmith.
Yes. So that bottom section, the single story, was his forge. The other was their house. And beneath the dining room.
Beneath the dining room.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've got a cellar, which you've got to lift floorboards to look into. And that cellar was the original house's kitchen, which Thomas Hartley's wife's kitchen. And she apparently walks around in the building and people spot her. I've never seen her, but I have looked into the kitchen that she had, and it's actually beautiful.
So what else can you tell us about Bathurst in terms of the paranormal?
Well, we have the rectory.
The rectory.
The rectory. The rectory was where nuns lived in the 1800s.
The who? John?
Nuns.
Oh, the nuns. Okay.
Yes, and apparently one fell pregnant by a soldier, okay, during the wars. And she committed suicide at the rectory. And apparently to this day, she moves furniture around in the place. So those that have lived there said they have heard the furniture upstairs being moved around.
Okay, I'm going to have to drive up.
Okay, so apparently this hotel is divided into 2: the old part and the new part. Well, not new, because apparently this was also an old building, and they connected it to each other. What I love about this place, the furniture, and then this fireplace was apparently built, it's newish, but the stones were taken from a very, very old building, so you can actually see that. You can sort of feel it.
And these floorboards for him.
That is the coolest part.
Yeah.
So why we're actually here is We spoke to John earlier about the cellar, the old kitchen. And this is exactly what it is. It's a cellar, and it was used to be the kitchen in the old days. I should have brought my light.
I'm going to put my phone on.
So down here, apparently, so this used to be the old kitchen.
Because I hope we don't see anything.
As you can see, there's a lot of spider webs. Selena was telling me last night about a place in, what's that place that you lived in?
Oh, Clovelly, yeah.
The Cobweb Inn.
The Cobweb Inn in Boscastle, yeah, yeah. That's in Cornwall, yeah.
Cornwall. So let's just see, hopefully no. So we can't get down here, unfortunately. But you can feel the dampness of this place. It's damp, and it's deep, and it's dark. Spider webs everywhere. So yeah, apparently the ghost, it's sleeping ghosts lie, no? But without any disrespect here, we're just curious about this cellar and about the energy down here. So yeah, so that is the one cool thing about this hotel. So here at the Pig and Whistle, me and Selena spoke to Gavin yesterday. We came to just talk to him about a little bit about the history of this place, the Pig and Whistle. It's apparently the oldest building in Bathurst, and this was established by Lord Bathurst. That Gavin tells us that apparently in the UK there was a period where they decided to open up opportunities for people in the UK who didn't have employment to come and stay in this part of of South Africa, and they would give them a certain amount of money and some land, but it's not quite that straightforward. So there's a poster down there that I'll show you guys. So basically the story behind the settlers is they were lured, as the map here says, they were lured with the promise of land and work and a better life for unemployed people in the UK. But it turns out, as the map says here, they were used as a buffer of sorts, and they were not given enough money in the end to really make a good life for themselves. Okay, so I'm here at the rectory. So John just told us about this place. Apparently that's where the nuns lived, and the specific nun that he talks about. So I'm just going to show you guys. It's a very cool gate, and yeah, I hope nobody stops me from taking videos here now. There we go. That's the rectory's gate. So this is the rectory that John told us about the nun that fell pregnant and then committed suicide. There's the entrance. It's got two lions there posted at the entrance. It's very cool. Okay, I'm upstairs here with kids at Kirtstone's studio. Here in their cottage in Bathurst. Very, very cool. Nice studio. As you can see, there's a little block there at the bottom. So Kurt, cool, yeah. How's it?
How's it?
So Kurt is a musician, a singer-songwriter, he's a visual artist, a painter, he's a videographer. So Kurt, tell us a bit about you and Selena's journey coming here to Bathurst. Bathurst, yeah. Actually.
It's Bathurst in the UK, but Bathurst here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was interesting because we were on tour and we were invited to stay at some people's house here. So we got to know some of the locals while we were here. We were here for about a week. And then we felt welcomed here, like more than we had in any other place. And so we came back again a second time. And just by chance, someone said, "Oh, there's a place available. Why don't you come look at it?" So we looked at this place, and then there was another place as well. And we weren't really even thinking about moving at that point, but then we went away and we started talking about it. And then we just thought, yeah, let's do it, you know, because it's cheaper for one thing. Cape Town's very expensive these days, so.
Cows and donkeys and
Yeah,
worms
potholes.
and
Yes,
So Kurt, tell me a bit, your music is very genre specific, or it's got a specific vibe to it. How would you describe your songs? What genre?
I've called it epic folk rock, and the epic refers to two things, you know, because an epic can also be a big story, but it can also refer to a kind of story. So it has connotations of the narrative as well as the scale of epic. And I don't mean to say that it's a cool epic or anything, it's just epic in terms of scale.
Epic, man, epic.
So epic folk rock, because it's sort of folky, I guess. That's you know, when I first started playing, Leonard Cohen was my biggest influence, and I see him as a folk artist, really. And then the rock part, I've always loved rock. Except it's not really the same on an acoustic guitar, but it has elements of that. So those are the three things that I've combined into what I call epic folk rock.
And you've got your master's in English literature?
No, actually, I only got halfway with that. So, and then I dropped out.
How is it?
Yeah, it was expensive for one thing, and and I don't know what happened actually. I just stopped.
But your passion for words, and your mom is here as well, Melanie. I actually want to talk to her, but she's also a writer and a teacher. Your passion for words. I hear Kurt make these little cracks every now and then, and word plays and puns and
I'm
stuff.
very annoying.
So your passion for words and for concepts, and I think what I love about your music is it has that esoteric, as you said, epic, but it's got an undertone of majestic, mystic. You know, it's my type of genre as well. The songs you write are about themes that kind of touch on psych and esoteric stuff. Does it?
So I guess for me, like, it wasn't intentionally esoteric or mystical in that sense. It was more to do with the unconscious, but you know, as you delve into the unconscious, the deeper you go, the more mystical it kind of gets. And it was all, I guess, it's all rooted in an experience I had a very long time ago when I was in my 20s. Not that long ago.
Sure.
So yeah, no, it was like I lost all my ego boundaries, and so I ended up, the nearest thing that I could identify was with the archetypes, you know, and so I kind of clung to those for a while, and I didn't even know what to call them until I started reading Jung and that sort of thing, and that really helped me to just kind of get back to the world, so to speak, you know, and the songs kind of reflect that journey, honestly. In fact, I was thinking of like compiling it in a sort of a story with the songs about that kind of sort of a journey back to the light, that kind of thing.
Very cool.
But yeah, that's long story short.
So just quick, it's the first time someone mentions this, and I've always wondered how cool it is, like a science. Well, psychology is kind of like a science more than anything else, social science. But isn't it cool how Jung, when he says we are born with archetypes, he actually admits that we are born with something that we can't explain scientifically, right?
Exactly, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I think that's why he's not so popular amongst in the scientific community anymore. They're that side of things, but I think he's become almost an everyman psychologist, you know, in the sense that people who really need to hear or read that stuff, who have been where he went, will be able to relate to what he's saying, and will kind of sort of help them, guide them back out, you know.
Apply it practically,
Yeah, he said he was schizophrenic, you know, he claimed to be.
Okay.
And said that he was curing himself, I guess, if you like, if you see it as a disease. I suppose.
So the journey is about healing, Kurt. Healing, understanding.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't call it healing, no, because I don't think I was ever broken. You know, it's like it's just a journey, you know, and it's an opening up and then reassessing and putting things back together, basically. Yeah. So I suppose other schools of thought might consider it brokenness, but I didn't. I never did, actually. Even when I was right down at the bottom, I kind of felt there was a reason for it and there was a purpose to it. So.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, we spoke quickly about the Zen and art motorcycle maintenance of what is madness, what is normality.
Exactly.
Any case, but we won't go too deep into this. People might think we're a bit pretentious, but we're not. We're actually just like super.
It's not the sort of thing you can talk about at gigs either.
I beg to differ.
Somebody having their dinner and talking with us. I don't know. Depends on the gig, I suppose.
Choking on their food.
Yeah.
So, Kurt, your art. Very cool stuff. I saw one of your sketches. I don't see it around here, but where can people see your art? I love your stuff.
Well, to be honest, the only stuff that I've got online is mostly commissions and things like that.
Okay,
so my own art I've sort of kept hidden.
Oh.
I haven't revealed it yet. Not out of any sort of like, I just haven't felt ready, you know. So I guess I'm working towards something. Cool. So when it's ready, I'll start putting it out there. You know.
And you're releasing your single on Monday. This video will probably only see the light next week, but it's Fall and Shine now.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward. It's my first sort of really proper release.
Very exciting. So many things to talk about, Kurt, but for now, I will see you guys in a month or so from now. Kurt and I are going to do, and Selena, we're going to do a little bit of a collaboration and see what we can do.
Great.
Cool, thanks, Kurt.
Thanks, Marsha.